All right. Good afternoon, Lake Norman. Good afternoon, and welcome to this week's episode of Know the Scene, here where we talk about what's making up the scene here, what's going on in the scene here in Lake Norman, everything from arts and culture and food, drink, breweries, because that's what we have a lot of breweries up here.
Yeah, we do.
Good breweries, man. Good breweries. All kinds of things like that. So welcome to this week's show. If you have become a regular listener, we appreciate you. We hope you will. And if you're not a regular listener, we hope you will become a regular listener here at WSIC. Also, make sure that the different ways you know that you could be listening to this show. You can be listening live on the radio, or you could be watching live on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, or you might be listening to this from the future. You are in the future listening to us now. I'm talking to you from the past because you have subscribed. You're a subscriber. You smash that subscribe button on your podcast app. Whatever podcast app you listen to, please search WSIC Know the Scene and follow or subscribe to our whole podcast. And I tell you what, then whenever we post a new one, whenever Billy Boy over there posts a new one, it'll ding you on your phone. You'll know you need to listen to a new episode. You can listen to it in pieces, right? You don't have to listen to the whole thing at once if you don't want to. You can rewind and catch that part again. You can go back, listen to old episodes. Perhaps there was an episode where you wanted to listen to Micah from Sons of Serendip talk about, you know, his journey and what he did when he was on and what it was like being on the show. Maybe you're at a Christmas party with your friends and they're like, man, I wonder what it's like to be on America's Got Talent. And you're like, oh, hang on. And you pull up a Know the Scene episode where we had Micah from Sons of Serendip and you're like, let me rewind and play this part for you because he talks all about it. There you go. You can do that. So listen to us, please. We appreciate you. Comment, give us calls here and there when we're live, 844-STUDIO-4. Always appreciate you being involved in the conversation. Lots going on right now in the arts and culture scene. It's the holidays. And I tell you, the holidays are back. I mean, we've been back for a while, but man, it's really back now. We've had, I swear, there's like 20 different Santa sightings around. Every town has their own beautiful, beautiful Christmas tree. Love seeing all the big town Christmas trees up and their own like downtown celebrations. Mooresville just had one. You know, Cornelius had one the week of weekend after Thanksgiving. Christmas in Davidson was last weekend. No, 2 weekends ago, I believe. Fantastic as always. Weather even held out just a little bit. So just a lot going on, you know, in a great way. And go over to Birkdale, check out the great new shops over there. Do some Christmas shopping. Skate. You can go on their ice skating rink they have when the weather's nice. Go get your time in with Santa. Just make sure you get your appointment in advance for that Santa, because that one's appointment only, man. But yeah, so lots of great holiday things going on. Just get out there and enjoy the community you live in. That's part of the great culture. Got more Christmas markets coming up. I think Lost Worlds has a Christmas market coming up. I can't remember if it's this weekend or next weekend. I'm bad on that, but go check out their website. It'll tell you. Love the Daves over there at Lost Worlds having their Christmas markets and things. So Cain Center for the Arts is a lot going on. We just had a really awesome show last weekend with the Docksiders doing some yacht rock. I tell you, man, it got wild in the theater that night. I was worried about people falling over the balcony. Like they were dancing. It was wild. But they had a great time. So we were excited to have them. Had a great interview last week with Kevin Suker. If you guys haven't listened to that, go back, listen to that one. Really cool story about Kevin Suker and the Docksiders and his artistic journey and what's going on. We were excited to have them come all the way from Las Vegas. And went back the next day. This weekend, by the way, speaking of Sons of Serendip, Cain Center for the Arts does have Sons of Serendip doing a Christmas concert this weekend. A Christmas concert. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, it's sold out. Sold out. Sorry. I mean, you could try to look online and see. You never know. You can maybe call and get on a waiting list or something, but it's sold out. So it's going to be a great show. This Friday at Cain Center for the Arts, LKN Perform, local performing arts school, is going to be performing a program and recitals at the center. It's going to be a great night for that too. And then next weekend at Cain Center for the Arts, we've got Mark and Maggie O'Connor doing an Appalachian Christmas, and that is sold out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that for?
It's sold out.
Oh, so that's the sold out one. Oh, sold out. It's sold out. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, sold out. So lots of great sold out shows. Speaking of sold out, I will go ahead and just say this. Cain Center for the Arts did announce our spring season, and the Docksiders are kicking it off in January, and they are sold out.
Do it.
Oh, Docksiders are sold out.
There we go.
But here's the good news. Here's the good news. You heard it first. You're going to hear it first right now on WSIC. If you're an oldies fan, the Docksiders, right? I mean, sitting on the dock of the bay, classics. Like I said, their show's sold out. But I'm going to announce it here. We just added another show.
Woo!
That's right. Yes, that's right. We just added another show. So if you would like to see the Docksiders at Cain Center for the Arts in January, again, if you want to see them on the original date, which was, oh my gosh, come on, iPhone calendar, you messing with me here. Messing with me. On the 19th, January 19th, that one's sold out, but we just added January 18th. So get those tickets for January 18th for the Docksiders. And while you're at it, on January 6th, Cain Center for the Arts is hosting our one-year anniversary party with Mandy Gonzalez, Broadway superstar from the original cast of In the Heights. She's also played Elphaba in Wicked on Broadway. She was the first fill-in for Angelica Schuyler in Hamilton. Yes. Fantastic performer. And those tickets are all inclusive. It's like a party ticket. So the tickets go $150, $175, or $200 depending on where you sit, but those are all inclusive. So that includes your show, your dinner, and your beverages. So it's right. There you go, Bill. So it's all-inclusive ticket for that anniversary party, and it's also a fundraiser for our organization. So please come to that as well as all the things. So, all right, we've got, and then, sorry, one more time, I'm just going to push it because we're going to talk about this more in January, but Davidson Community Players in January is performing Frozen Junior at the Cain Center. Really excited to have them. If you got kiddos and they're an Elsa and Anna fan, you got to kind of pick one, I feel like. Like, are you Elsa or are you Anna? Right? So I got a 5-year-old girl.
I'm an Anna.
You're Anna.
I'm an Anna.
Bill? Bill's Olaf. I could see there. All right, Bill. I like that.
Olaf.
I like that. I like that.
He was in his own world.
I do like that one. So if you are my daughter, funny story, my daughter started as an Anna, and as she got older, became an Elsa fan, which is concerning to me. But anyways, we're not gonna get into that. We'll talk about that later. That when we have some of them coming in January, we'll have them come and talk. But again, so wonderful things going on all around y'all. But what we're here to talk about today, by the way, before we get into this too, is we do have right now our winter art classes are on sale now at Cain Center. Winter session is going to start in January. Yes. We have ceramics classes, painting classes, drawing classes for kids and adults, and cainarts.org. You can register for those classes or buy the tickets for the events like we said. So lots going on. We are going to, now that we've caught everybody up, we're going to pause for a break and recognize some sponsors. Thank you, everyone who supports the radio station and helps keep this going. When we come back, we got a special guest today, Simone El Bey, Director of Visual Arts and Education. We're going to talk all about visual arts at Cain Center, what she's doing, what we're doing at the center, what exhibit we got going on. Come on back to us, y'all. Know the scene.
More Know the Scene with Cain Center for the Arts Executive Director Justin Dionne on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Cain Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Cain Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit cainarts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy mistletoe sip and shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe sip and shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
People who don't believe in Santa, they're rebels without a clause.
Merry Christmas to all!
WSIC. Local starts here.
Call now to speak with Justin Dionne at 844-STUDIO-4. It's Know the Scene on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back Tuesday afternoon here in beautiful, beautiful day in Cornelius and Lake Norman area of North Carolina. Sun's out, but not guns out. At least not the bicep kind. Though I think for some it is moving into hunting season, so some guns may be out. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I got a buddy at the gym who around this time of year, he doesn't work out in the morning anymore because he's usually up in a tree. It's truth. They sit up in the trees and be waiting. I'm convinced they don't shoot anything that often. It's more just like man time. I mean, I think if something comes along, right, like they're gonna go for it.
Have you been hunting before?
No, it was not. I mean, nothing against it. Like I'm totally like I just, I think hunting is one of those things that is really passed through generations. It seems to me from the outside. Like it's something maybe your grandfather did, your great grandfather did. They pass it down to your dad, and then your dad does it with you, and that just wasn't something that went through my family. Nothing against it. Again, cool. You do you. Right? Just not something that was a family tradition.
It's just the cold. Anything that requires me having to be cold for an elongated amount of time, it's not in my purview.
Oh yeah, getting the mic, Simone. All right, so that beautiful sultry voice you hear is Simone El Bey, everyone, our director of visual arts and education at Cain Center for the Arts, and our lovely guest for today.
Woo-hoo.
Simone is here to chat with us about all the things, whatever Simone wants to talk about, of course. But specifically, Cain Center for the Arts has a new exhibit.
We do.
That just opened up. Simone, why don't you tell us all about it?
This exhibit is actually really exciting. We had a reception for it last Thursday. Was it Thursday? We partnered with Heinz Feet Farm, which is an organization that specializes in working with participants who have suffered and survived a brain injury. And we also partnered with Davidson College in this exhibit. We created classes with Davidson College. We utilized the printmaking studio. Shout out to Tyler Starr, the associate professor. Go ahead. Did we do it? There we go.
Oh, Bill, we just talked. All right, hang on, one more time.
One more time. There we go.
Tyler Starr.
Ooh, Tyler Starr.
All right.
And we partnered together as an organization in a trifold partnership, and we put together a very, very, I would like to say, a very thoughtful exhibit.
Yeah.
I think that this was something that the participants really enjoyed. They came, and they had not seen the exhibit, so it was really fun to see them walk into the facility, and they had not seen their work other than when they were creating it. And when they walked into the gallery, they walked into the facility, I mean, everybody's heart just overflowed with the amount of joy and excitement that were on their faces. They came in and they saw a full live exhibit of all the works that they created at Davidson College with Tyler Starr. And I mean, we sold about 6 pieces in that exhibit. And it's called Justifying Our Lens. And it's really to help people understand that art is one thing when it comes to fine arts, but to make it accessible and available for everyone, sometimes it's really good to give different platforms or give a platform to different perspectives. And this exact exhibit did exactly that. We gave a platform, a space, an opportunity for people to come and do work based on their experiences, which I think is what art is about.
Simone, would you say that this exhibit, I mean, kind of frame this. So this exhibit is the result of a process that you all
Absolutely
went through, right? And
It was like a 2-month process.
Yeah, so it was like a 2-month process that you and the artists and the other partner organizations went through. And would you say that this is the result of an art therapy experiment as well?
Yeah, I think Tyler Starr, who was the professor that worked with us, Chelsea Willis, who was the point of contact from Heinz Feet Farm, and myself, we all knew that this was something that was really going to give them the opportunity to express their own creativity in a way that they don't always get to share, because some of them are verbal, some of them are nonverbal. Some have the operation of all of their limbs, some are limited in their physicality. And so this was giving them an opportunity to really be that and do that. And it was therapeutic. It was therapeutic for them, but it was extremely therapeutic for us. We mentioned that in our planning process. Just to have to stop and pause. I think sometimes when we're so busy throughout our day and the monotony of all of the things that we have to do as people, to stop and be able to be that intentional with someone else's perspective, I think that that's just something, that's a luxury that we don't always have with social media, television, all the things, which is why the arts is so important to us, because it stops and allows us to be intentional. Stopping to see a show, stopping to come in to take a class, stopping to come in from the street and take a look at the gallery, that gives you the opportunity to take a minute away from all of the overstimulating things that are happening and really give you the opportunity to take a breath and look at something through another lens, which is where Justifying Our Lens came from. We wanted them to not only be expressive in this perspective, but we also wanted them to be strong about it. And the justification that they have was that this is our art, and this is because they worked on a prompt. Remember that they worked on the prompt? The prompt was, this is what I love and this is what I see.
So you start, so hang on. So one of the first steps is back, I guess, when you guys started the process, which was the summer, right?
Yeah, me and Tyler started talking about this, I think about, and to be at the beginning of August.
So when was the first, so what was the process, like kind of step-by-step process that you took the Heinz Feet Farms folks through? Was it like, hey, day one, you met them and you presented with the prompt, and then what? And then there was a step 2, which was what? Like, how did it kind of go?
Step 1 was us presenting them with the prompt, but actually talking to them about what they love and why they love it. Like, we actually had a think tank in the room when we met them. It was kind of like a Socratic seminar where we sat and we actually engaged with them in a way that we wanted to get to know them. Because one thing about curating is that you have to curate from the artist's expression, like their point of perspective. So sitting there talking to them, gaining the perspective of what they go through and how they live their lives based on the changes and the challenges that they have gone through. We started talking about the farm and why they love it and why they love so much of it. And so the second step was we all went out and we took pictures of everything that they loved on the farm. They brought in some of their favorite stuff. Some of them took pictures in their favorite spot at the farm. Some of them were like, oh, I want to take a picture with my favorite horse. Some of them wanted to take pictures together. Some of them wanted like a picture with nuances, where they were taking a picture through the lens of their glass because they wanted their glasses, because they wanted people to say, oh, this is what I look at when I look through my glasses. So it was actually very, very layered in why they chose some of the work that they did for their prompts.
And all of these folks are folks who have experienced some kind of traumatic brain injury or incident, right?
So a lot of them were not just born with it.
Right.
This was an experience that they've had. This wasn't something that.
So what are like and working with them through the process, because I only asked this too because the other day when we had the exhibit, when we had the reception, was the first time I'd had a chance to meet any of them, you know, and as you mentioned, like some of them are verbal, some of them are nonverbal at all, and even some of them are verbal can be tough to understand at times, you know. But it must have been really neat. I mean, but one thing is, regardless, and it's so interesting, is again how I think you could see in this exhibit and in the moment that I got to have with them, seeing them there, how, you know, in that moment of standing there with them and looking at their artwork, whether they were verbal or nonverbal, the art became the communication connection.
Yes.
Right? Which was really neat.
The point.
To see. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, yeah, that was really neat to experience, you know, having that moment with them. And what was really cool too, and if you come and see the exhibit, all the pieces are for sale. Right, and the funds go to.
It's theirs.
Yep, go to them.
It's theirs.
Exactly. Yeah.
They are artists.
Yeah.
There's a contract that we have with them,
that's
and
right.
they are cutting checks at this point.
That's right. And so there were a couple that were sold.
Yeah.
In that moment, and it was so special.
It really was
to see. You know, one of these folks from Hines Feet Farm, who's one of the artists from Hines Feet Farm, and we're standing there talking about their art, and the next thing you know, Simone walks up and puts a sticker on it that says it's sold. And just the excitement that they had.
Yeah.
You know, that they created something and that someone bought it. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So the folks from Hines Feet Farm, Simone, I know you got to spend some time with them throughout this whole thing, obviously. Where are they? Are they from all over? Are they from?
A lot of them are from this area. A lot of them are from, like, their parents wanted to find, and their guardians and their families wanted to find a space for them to live their life based on their changes and their differences. And the foundation is actually in Huntersville. So some of them have come all over. Some of them are from down the street.
And the farm is in Huntersville.
Yes, the farm is in Huntersville.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you're, not just Huntersville, but, you know, in the area, if you're listening, you know, and you'd like to learn more about Hines Feet Farm.
Yes.
You know, look them up, Google them.
Hines Feet Farm.
You know, find their Facebook social media page, check them out. Come see the exhibit.
Yeah.
Come see at Cain Center. Again, our Cain Center for the Arts is open to the public Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our gallery is open to the public during that time.
Yeah.
So you can come, you can see the art, come see these powerful pieces from these artists. You know, if you feel inspired, purchase one knowing that it's going to, you know, it's really going to be
They are artists that are cutting checks.
Yeah.
They were so excited. I think that Chelsea, Tyler, and we all agreed before we left that day that this was just a very humbling experience.
Well, and I was so grateful what y'all did too, because like we put out a red carpet for them, and
it
like
was so much
I mean,
fun.
like we really were committed to like making this.
Yes.
I mean, a thing for them, right? This was gonna be like an album release or something for them. Kind of.
It really was. It was a nice thing, and they and their families were there, and I think that their families, seeing them treated like they were artists that were exhibiting in a gallery.
Well, they are. They are.
And that was the
Dang
thing. You gonna push a button?
They are. No, not yet. Well, hang on. All right. Well, actually, so we're gonna stop and go to break.
Okay.
And we'll come right back and talk more with Simone. We're gonna talk about her process when she curates exhibits. What is that like? Right after the break. Know the Scene. Come on back.
Know the Scene with Cain Center for the Arts Executive Director Justin Dionne will return after this short break on WSIC.
This is Fred Lowry at Lowry Drug. We now have our own brand of full-spectrum hemp extract, also known as CBD oil. I personally manage this product as it was grown on my farm here in Iredell County. It was then processed and bottled here in Statesville. This is a true herbal extract with all the medicinal components intact. Our product you can trust to be authentic. And since there is no wholesaler, it's at a price you can afford. Try it at Lowry Drug on Hartness Road in Statesville.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again, down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Make your work easier with Eagle Rentals of Troutman and Statesville. Eagle Rentals has generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor care equipment, pressure washers, lighting equipment, and lawn care equipment. Plus, Eagle Rentals has construction equipment like forklifts, bobcat loaders, backhoes, excavators, and more. Reserve online at eaglerentals.com. That's eaglerentals.com.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Lynn Honeycutt Funeral Home. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Fall is here, and Little Shavers has the supplies you need. Wheat straw, pine needle, grass seed, pelletized line, landscape edging, and railroad cross ties. Got a deck that needs staining? Little Shavers has PPG paints and stains at prices you can afford. Fall is a great time to replace your furnace filters at Little Shavers. Get the products you need at reasonable prices from Little Shavers, 3301 Salisbury Road in Statesville.
The 12 Days of Christmas giveaway is officially underway, but you can still get in on all the holly jolly happenings by registering at WSICnews.com/holiday. Gifts for him, gifts for her, gifts for the kids, gifts for me.
Hey, Dave, you're not eligible to win?
What? Dang it. Well, that's more for everyone else. Register now at WSICnews.com/holiday. Merry Christmas from WSIC.
Know the Scene continues. Here's your host, Cain Center for the Arts Executive Director Justin Dionne on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
You pick the music?
And we're back, everyone. We're back on Tuesday afternoon. Cain Center for the Arts presents our Know the Scene here. Thank you all for listening. Great show we're having today, talking with Simone El Bey about what she does and all the things visual arts and education here at Cain Center. Yeah. We just talked about Through Our Lens. Justifying Our Lens. I'm sorry. Through Our Lens was the yes. That's the.
So you're really it's
sorry.
Us still.
I know. Okay, sorry. It was still Cain Center. Or just,
I was about to say it's
sorry.
us.
Justifying Our Lens. I apologize.
No,
Justifying Our Lens, which again. Brand new exhibit running. And when does that exhibit run through, Simone?
January 5th.
January 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure, again, you come by Cain Center, or when you're coming to one of the shows coming up, gallery's open during that too. So come and see the show and enjoy the exhibit while you come and see a show. But come check that out. So we talked about that, and we can always continue talking about that. But I thought it would be neat to ask Simone to kind of share with us here. So Simone curates all of our exhibits that we have at Cain Center, and not just at Cain Center. Remember, we also operate the Cornelius Arts Center down in the Oak Street Mill, and we have exhibits. Our exhibits are down there too.
Yeah.
So we have exhibits down at Oak Street Mill and in the new Cain Center. So Simone, all in all, this year, which by the way, folks, Cain Center, our programming year goes August through July. So how many exhibits total, Simone, between the two spaces are we going to have at Cain Center?
Yeah, we're going to have about 7.
Yeah, 7. That's a lot.
It is.
I mean, that's a lot.
We love it.
We do.
It is a lot.
We do love it. But it is a lot, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So if you plan those 7 exhibits. Now, I mean, I know you have a wonderful team that helps.
Yeah.
But you're responsible for really curating. When we say curate too, and from the very base level, you build the relationships and you choose the artists who are going to show.
Yeah.
So take us through that. Like, how do you even begin to start to pick what art, what are the art exhibits that are going to happen at Cain Center and at Cornelius Arts Center each year?
It actually starts with our conversations. I pay attention to your thoughtfulness in the vision that we have for the organization as far as our mission. And where, as an organization and as team members, do we want to see things go? And based on that, I pair it with mediums, I pair it with different audiences, what audiences will capture what type of artist. When you say you want more family oriented things, in my mind, I'm already snagging what is a family oriented medium that would speak the same language that you're speaking when it comes to you programming and putting together performances. A lot of what I do is sitting there listening to what everybody else is saying, and I'm picking what art goes along with the conversations that we consistently have. Like we had our staff retreat last week, and in that I heard a lot of different things for where we plan to go as an organization, how we plan to show up in the community, how we plan to show up for other artists, local and non-local, regional, and what that looks like. And then I sit there and I think about, okay, if we want to go big here, I hear edge. If I hear edge, I hear ink, I hear watercolor, but I hear installation, I hear 3D moving parts. So I sit there and I listen to the conversations, and as I'm listening to the conversations, I'm literally jotting down notes. Okay, Justin wants more family oriented things. How do we spin this in my purview? How do I sit here and package this up the way that you would like it, in a way that is thoughtful for our mission and our organization, but also is in the fine arts world. And I sit there and I just translate your language into fine arts and then translate that language into the mission. And I just keep finding different pieces and different kinds of art that work with our audiences, our performances, our classes, but also our community members. And I sit there and then I give a list. And then through the list, I sit there and I start tallying what is feasible, what is not feasible.
Right.
And then I start scoping it down. And then once I scope it down, I'll hear you say, "Oh, I really like this." And I'm like, "Great. I'm glad you told me that. We'll add that back into the bucket."
I thought we couldn't do this one, but dang it, Justin said he really liked it. I guess we got to figure it out.
So I put it back in the bucket. Or like if we're talking about something like with, I don't know, maybe Harley Davidson's, what kind of medium would go with a Harley Davidson show? So then I start kind of balancing out what your idea is in a visionary perspective, and then I take this fine art experience that I have and I pair it, and then I start talking to people. Like, I'm looking for this kind of artist. Have you, I start doing some scouting and some working, and then I start popping up at different receptions and different other galleries. Just to
you do that a lot. So talk about how you have developed and how you develop relationships with, like, how do you find the artist? Like, once you have a concept, how do you pick the artist?
Based on the technique, the ability for them to articulate their artistry, the ability for them to have a wholesome perspective, because we're still family oriented,
Sure.
I mean, artists naked people, but we have to be like, family oriented. So how well that they can articulate it, how well they can bring their vision to life, and then can they take what I have heard and the vision that I have cultivated and curated out of what I've heard with my team members and my executive director and from the members of the community, because I take all of that into consideration. And then I sit there and I'm like, it looks like you did this here, but could you do this with us? And then I start pitching them like different ideas of concept. And generally, like any other artist, they take the challenge of creativity and they bite.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Because at the end of the day, it's just, we're still having fun.
We still having fun.
And like artists that like to do stuff, if you give them, if you
give them enough, and you give and you package it, and then I'm taking what they already do and you're just scoping it out for our organization. So it's not like I'm changing their language.
Right.
I'm utilizing their language to speak our message.
Yeah, we're not asking Anna Dean to make like traditional landscapes.
No. Anna Dean is coming in being Anna Dean.
That's right, yeah. Which everyone, hey, by the way, everyone, remember you can go back listen to that Anna Dean episode on Notice.
She was great too.
She was great.
Yeah.
She was great.
She was. And like for Heinz Feet Farm, like we didn't go in and tell them what kind of work that they had to make.
Exactly.
We didn't go in and tell them what they should be doing. We said, hey, I have an idea. can you give me this in your own way? And that's exactly what they did.
Because to that, I remember when you told me about one of your concepts when you picked a lot of the exhibits too, was as you carry the exhibits this season was going to like our organizational values.
Yes.
And one of those values is the community.
Yep.
So that was what, what you started with when you decided to go with Heinz Feet's Farm exhibit was you were like, I want to do an exhibit that, like, for instance, so yes, like Anna Dean, if people came and saw Anna Dean and heard her talk, like Anna Dean is all the artists pros, but she's a pro. Like, if you heard her talk, woman is like making.
I know. She's an
The
engineer.
fact that we had her at Cain Center, there will be a day you'll see her.
I was just gonna say, and we're
right?
gonna be able to say we hosted her at Cain Center for the Arts,
and she's along more of that installation, fine arts type vibe, right? And then you're like, well, wait a minute, you go from that to Heinz Feet Farm, which is like
community
different, right?
Educative,
and that's why. Right. And you did that on purpose because you were like, yeah, look, we want to show you the fine art side of it, but we also want to show you that art is for the community as well. And that it's art is more than just like, yes, it's this fine art stuff, but it's also healing.
Yeah, it is very healing.
Right?
And I think that that's something that we constantly talk about. And that's probably why I'm just so passionate about it, because like in our organization, we have real life conversations about why this work is so important. I do not take those conversations lightly.
Right.
I don't take the idea of what could we do with a Harley Davidson exhibit.
I'm telling you.
I don't take it lightly.
Bill.
We don't take it lightly.
I want to do.
He does.
So I think custom Harleys, right? Like those are pieces of art, man. Like those are pieces of art. And like Simone and I'll be like, man, Simone, what if we one day had like a Harley? And it wasn't 100% my idea either. It was like, I got to give credit to Adam Colburn and Old Town Revival. He gave me the idea, and we'll probably work with them at some point when it comes time to do it, because he'll know the Harley people, right? Hit it. But yeah, I just, because again, as I always said, like, I love challenging the idea and helping people connect the dots of like, oh wait, this is art. Oh, I didn't think I liked art. Oh wait, this is art.
And you see how he slides it in there? Like, what if we, that's how he comes finds me. He'll come and find me. He'll say, so what you think about this? And when he says that, I don't even say anything.
She's in trouble. She's like,
I'm just taking notes at this point, because I'm like, what does he want? What does he want to do? Not because I
crazy idea do we have
right.
now?
I was about to say, I think that as an artist, you have to believe in the artist that you work with. So if I didn't believe in the vision that he gives me most of the time, I don't even think I'd be able to execute it. So the first thing is for me to believe that the crazy idea is worth the time, and that this is going to take place, and that it's going to happen.
It is. This so cool.
Yeah, I
there's
think
cool
that
there's so many cool things that like you've already done, and that we're heading toward.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of we make art fun.
Yeah, that's absolutely. See, that's like
we make art fun. That's our thing. That's our slogan.
So we want to do make art fun at Cain Center for the arts.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we make art fun.
It cracks me up.
So when you make art fun, you absolutely have to have fun while you're doing it. That's kind of like the law.
It demystifies it.
Yeah.
Right? I think sometimes with that word art or culture, people
it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, people get intimidated. But let's demystify that.
There should definitely be conversations of Van Gogh and Heinz Feet Farm and Anna Dean all in one.
Ooh, challenge. All right. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be back with our last time. We're going to keep talking about what's coming up next in exhibits. We're going to talk about art classes, too. Some of the art classes Simone's got at the upper sleeve. Come on back after the break. Know the scene.
More Know the Scene with Cain Center for the Arts Executive Director Justin Dionne, coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Cain Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Cain Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit cainarts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy mistletoe sip and shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe sip and shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's pretty cold out there this morning, but we should warm up pretty good for the afternoon. Sunny skies with a high temperature right around 50 degrees is to be expected. Clouds will start to roll in as you get to the evening and overnight hours. Partly cloudy overnight with a low below freezing again down at 28 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Revitalize your landscape with ease. Experience hassle-free transformations with Drum Landscape Supply's swift and reliable delivery service. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today. Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop.
Here's wishing you a warm and happy holiday season. WSIC.
It's Know the Scene with Cain Center for the Arts Executive Director Justin Dionne on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, there we go. Man, Bill, now that since it took like 8 weeks to change that music, can we change it again? I'm kidding. That's what I want. I want some like intro music in this little button. They've got this Stream Deck here that Bill, I've looked at it forever and I didn't know what it did. Oops. Oh, that's what it does. See, that's why you don't give me these kind of things.
That's what
Don't give Justin things that get him in trouble. All right. Well, welcome back to Know the Scene. We are having a wonderful time talking with Simone El Bey, talking all about visual arts and specifically what Simone does right now with Cain Center, the many things that she does. If any of you are familiar with or, whether it's your church, whether it's a nonprofit you're maybe involved with or care about, if you know the people that work at those organizations, you will know that it's never as simple as just doing one thing. That's just not how it works, especially in nonprofit-oriented businesses. You're always everyone balances several plates. I don't care what your position is. It's just kind of how it goes. But Simone balances many of them, along with what she does with the visual arts side, which we could continue to talk about forever and ever. Yeah. And she also does Simone also manages and oversees our education, as far as if your child has taken a summer camp or you have taken an art class, or your child's taken an art class. For the last 3 years, right, Simone?
Yeah,
3 years?
It is. I'm going on my 4th year.
Yeah, Simone's been overseeing all that. She contracts all the teachers, the art instructors, lines up, schedules it all, schedules when they happen, curates as well, like what kind of classes we're going into. Before we jump into education, I want to step back for a minute. Simone, I had one more thing I wanted to ask you. Tell everyone what's coming up at exhibits at Cain Center. Like what's coming up as we're walking into the new year. So we know we've got a lot still coming. So this exhibit right now is going to be done at the Cain Center on January 5th. What's coming to CAC? Cornelius Art Center. Homegrown, which is a big community favorite.
Huge.
And Homegrown is special because anyone can submit their art.
Anything, anytime. During the submission deadline. But yes, it is an open call. It is non-juried. It can be any medium. And We have Homegrown Junior added to that this year, where kids from the ages of 10 to 16 can submit as well with limited spots for children. But we are definitely going to try to get some of our students that are in some of our youth classes actually submit some of their artwork to be exhibited in this show. This is actually, like Justin said, this is like one of our bigger ones because this is real-time community. This is our community showing up of all kinds of art, all different kinds of artists, and I mean they show up and show out every single year for this exhibit, and it is open to professional artists, just starting artists, kinda. I'm not so sure if I should exhibit this artist. We take them all in this show.
So when do submissions open up for this year's Homegrown?
Submissions open up in December 20th. Actually, we just
December 20th is when you can submit, and you can go to cainarts.org. So if you are, so if some folks say, man, Cain Center, I want to show my art with Cain Center, either at the Cain Center or down at Cornelius Arts Center, right? Homegrown that's your show. That's your show for our local folks, no matter what. And can it be ceramics?
Yes.
Can it be watercolor?
Yes.
Can it be painted?
Yes.
Could it be drawing?
Yep. It could be literally anything.
There
it
you
could
go.
be fiber. It could be jewelry. It could be copper.
Jewelry. All right.
We get a lot of different. It could be paper mache.
So listen, all my folks, because the cool thing is, like, this radio station goes all the way up to Statesville and
come on
down
out.
So this submissions open December 20th.
Yep.
When's the deadline?
January, I want to say the 9th.
January 9th.
I think.
So, and again, website cainarts.org, and if you go to the navigation bar there at the top and pick visual arts out of the programs, it'll have information about the call for Homegrown. And as Simone mentioned, traditionally Homegrown has always just been adults.
Yes.
And this year, Simone had the idea and thought to expand to youth as well this year. And that's for 8 to 18, you said? Ages 8 to 18, kids can submit their art as well. And where are these exhibits? And these are going to be down in Cornelius Arts Center?
Yes, and then we'll have some that will be on some of the spaces, but those would be more so our Homegrown Junior, and those would be only 2D. So any art can be submitted for this, but because this show takes up so much space, I am anticipating that we're going to have to curate in almost all of our little nooks and crannies.
So you're saying that's more 2D art from Homegrown will be up at the Cain Center.
More 2D art will be up at the actual Cain Center, like the main
like
facility.
Down the halls and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be all over because we get so much.
Yes.
We get so much work in this show that trying to squeeze it all in just the CAC, the Cornelius Art Gallery, it would do a disservice to the people that actually submit, because we were all out of space last year.
Yes, I remember.
Remember, we had to turn people away because last year, and that was before we opened up our mama facility. That's what I call it, mama facility. I'm an artist.
I like it. No, I like it. I'm not hating. I like it.
And so before we opened up our main facility, we had to turn people away because we were running out of space.
Yeah.
And because because there's not a lot of caveats.
Yeah.
It's like an open call. So it can be 2D, it can be 3D, it can be standing, it can be hanging, it can be fiber, it can be all these different things. There's a lot of space that is taken up in different ways. So you got to find nooks and crannies to put the pieces in to make sure it's being displayed properly and being hung properly. So me and the team were thinking about it when we were in the planning mode for this. I was like, some of this is going to have to go in the CCA. Some of this is going to have to go in our main facility.
So there you go, folks.
So we're going to have
local artists.
We're going to have that show, and then we have the Director's Choice exhibit.
Yes.
So it's going to be a wild ride for visual arts in the next 2 months.
And Director's Choice exhibit is one of the big goals of that is that all the proceeds from the sales of Director's Choice go to support our community engagement programs. And community engagement programs, like we have our community music lesson program, we have our scholarship program for summer camp, we have our affordable ticket program, we do arts in schools where we present art to school children, both there at their school, and then this year we're talking about bringing kids to the center now that we've been open for a year almost. Lots of and then just our community partnerships in general that we work with.
Yeah, we work with a lot of different organizations where we try to really scope out the age, because we were just talking about earlier today preschool, working with our preschoolers to make sure that we're just tying the art into their development. That is just something. So we actually are looking at doing some real-time things in the spring with some of our preschool partners where we're going to show up and we're going to show out for them. We're going to do some art. We're going to do some dancing. We're going to do some reading. We're going to have a party at their preschool. Generally, this is what we do every spring. With
Art party.
Yep. This is what we do. So we're excited about. And it's really fun because it's like last year, it was like 23-year-olds. And they were just sitting there and they were just looking at me and they were like, so who are you? And I was like, well, I don't even think it matters.
That's right.
It don't even matter. They were like, are you coming to dance with us? So they just turned on some music. And while I was supposed to be...
Meet them where they're at.
We had a ball.
That's right.
We had a ball. It was really fun. And so word got out that we love to do these things.
Yeah.
And so we're doing them trifold this year. We're doing them times 3.
And then we also have, so the Director's Choice is going to be great as well, by the way. Like that exhibit is going to be, because that's, Simone was mentioning like how she goes out and she goes to these art shows. And so she gets to meet a lot of wonderful artists. And this is her chance to just say, like this is her picks.
Yeah.
These are her picks.
These are
which
my
means
picks.
like these the VI. This is, you know what I mean. This is like the top picks, right?
We have.
So this is your chance to see some really awesome artists, and there's many of them. Like
It is.
you could have up to how many you think you're gonna have this year, like of artists.
I invited about 15 to 20.
Like
artists.
15 to 20 different artists that are all professional artists in the area. Like wonderful stuff.
Submissions are already coming in.
Yes. So
we
like,
have some of our instructors who have been exhibiting.
Yes.
We have, and this is a mixed media exhibit as well. The only difference is that they are being privately invited. And the way to get on that for next year, we're gonna plug that in, is to exhibit with us.
That's right.
Come take a look, check us out, get to know us. I think that one of the biggest things that I love about curating the Director's Choice exhibit is that everyone that has been invited to exhibit loves community impact as much as we do. I think that was like the biggest thing. It's like they care about their artwork.
Well, because the artists, so part of when the artists that do Director's Choice, I should clarify this.
Yeah.
They don't just get selected by you to do it. They agree to donate. Like a portion of the sale of their art, like either 50% or some say more.
Yeah, some
of
say
them
about
are
100.
open to giving more. And the artists themselves commit that they're willing to donate at least 50% of the sale to our community impact programs.
Yeah.
So these are artists that, like you said, one, they're super high quality artists, but they also, like you said too, they're super generous of saying like, I'm okay with like 50% of this art sale going to help community impact programs at Cain Center.
And they're just as passionate about the arts as we are, and they care about it affecting and impacting as many people as we want to.
Because somewhere out there in one of these, in all these kids and community members that we work with, is the next one who's going to have a show at the Cain Center.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what I always think about. I think about being the weird art kid that I was, and I just remember caring about all the people, and I just know that there are weird art kids out there that just need a space. That's it.
Yeah.
And we're the space.
And that's like classes help that a lot too.
Yes.
Again, you folks know we have classes, which you're registering right now. Again, we're registering now for winter session.
On sale.
So sometimes, that can be a great avenue for kids and adults.
Yeah, because like these are the kids that are coming that actually want to be in an art class.
That's right.
Well,
all right. Well, Simone, thank you so much for joining us today.
Nothing but
we'll
my
have you
pleasure.
come back again, as always. Simone will come back lots more times.
Love
we'll
this.
continue to bring more artists in as they
Absolutely.
come. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Justin, signing off.
Yay.